Hello Guardians, welcome back. This is Right Way Gaming, bringing you another Destiny 2 video, and today we're going to be talking about how to get the Xenophage Exotic Machine gun. As always, before we get started, thanks for the support guys, keep it up, and don't forget to subscribe, it helps a lot. And without further ado, let's get stuck into it. So, in order to start this quest, you are going to need to go through Iris Morn's portal and go and visit her at the Overlook, as I like to call it in previous videos. Now, when you get here, she won't be stood there, that's unless you've done the weekly quest for her. But don't worry, you don't need her to be there. The only things you need are the 4 statues in this room. So, as you walk in, you will notice that you've got 2 to the right, 2 to the left. We're going to call it, as you walk in, the first one on the right is back right, and the first one on your left is back left. So, based on that, the order you want to do these statues in, and it's fairly simple, is simply back right, front left, back left, sorry. So that you basically go around in a circle from right to left. Once you've done this, you will get the Xenophage Quest to drop. Back left. Okay, so for the next part of Xenophage, you actually need to head over to the Anchor of Light. Now, this is where this quest starts getting a little bit interesting and a little bit tricky, but as long as you follow along, you shouldn't find it too difficult. I didn't. And there will be a map over the video in order to show you the locations of the things that you need. So, in order to do the next part, you will need to head over to the Anchor of Light, and you will need to head over to the building where I head over to and pick up the orb of light that is glowing in the encrusted hive thingy, I'm going to call it. From here, you will need to run to a sequence of beacons, plates, whatever you want to call them. Now, as you can see in the top right hand corner of the video now, there is 6 numbers, I should say, sorry, from level 1 to 6. You will need to run to these plates in order. Now, what I did was I found the locations of the plates first before running with the orb, so I knew where they were, and then I ran through with the orb in order to do them in order. So I'll let the video play along, and again, it should be pretty straightforward, it's not too difficult. Just run them in order. Some of them were tricky to find at first, but it's because I didn't know where or what I was looking for. So hopefully this video will help you guys, and I'll catch you shortly for the next part. Okay, once you've got that part done, the next part will be simply to visit 4 of the lost sectors on the moon, 1 of each and every one. I'm going to try and get straight into this. So basically, once you've cleared the lost sector, you need to run through the exit at the back, and there will be some hive runes on the wall. So the first one I'm going to start with is Anchor of Light, and this hive rune, you need to make all the symbols match. So here it goes. Anchor of Light, in order to get them to all match, you need to shoot bottom left, bottom right, top middle, top middle. It will be shown on video, but I'm going to go straight into the next video so that you can see that one. The next one is going to be Archer's Line, and for this one you are going to need to shoot top left, bottom left, middle, middle right. This one's going to be the lost sector in the Hellmouth, and for this one, it's a bit of a lengthier combination, so try to not mess it up. It is going to be top right, middle left, middle, bottom middle, bottom right, bottom right, bottom middle, bottom middle. And final but not least is the Sorrow's Harbour lost sector. For this one again it's a bit lengthier, so try to not mess it up because it's a bit of a pain if you do. So it is going to be right middle, left middle, 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 left middle, top middle, bottom middle, middle. Right, okay, we're on to the final wave for the quest for this weapon. It's definitely a lengthy one, so it's been fun. Now, in order to do the last few phases of this quest, you're going to need to unlock the dungeon on the moon. Now, if you haven't already, I suggest you go and look into this because it's not a straightforward quest. It involves doing the sacrifice thing on the moon. Forgot what it's called, I'll be honest, in Sorrow's Harbour. So you need to get that out of the way first. Once you've done that and you've unlocked the dungeon, you need to jump straight in. Now, in order to do the three technically final parts to this quest, you're going to need to clear the first encounter of the dungeon. Now, once you've cleared the first encounter, you'll become to what we call the Phallus Wall, similar to what was in Kingsfall. And at this Phallus Wall of doors, you need to run into a specific door and pick up a lore item. So the door you need to enter is the second to last on the left as you're running towards the doors. So the way to do this is, if I was a hunter, I used my stompies, I climbed on the rock to my right, jumped straight across, and simply jumped up using the ledges and jumped across. It's not too difficult, it's just adapting to whatever class you're on. Now, as you can see, you have to run right into the back of the door and you'll see the glowing item. Pick that up and that will give you the next part to this quest, which will lead on to the next area of the dungeon. So once you pick that up, you need to head on through the crack in the wall to the next part of the dungeon where the two giant ogres are. Now, this is where it starts to get fun because without a bit of help, you might struggle here. So you need to drop down, and as you finally get to the next part of the dungeon, you will need to head straight left out onto the ledge and drop down. Now when you drop down, there will be a plate with some hive text on it. You will need to interact with this and it will raise 3 platforms. At the end of those 3 platforms will be an orb of light. You need to pick up this orb of light and you need to run straight back through where you've just come from to the other side of this part, and there is a red wall to your right. Follow this red wall along and there's a doorway with 2 plates either side of it. You simply need to dump the orb of light in both of these plates. Don't worry, you don't have to go back, you can do it with the same orb, which is definitely a big saviour. The problem with this is you've got to avoid the ogres at the same time, because if the ogres are anywhere in the vicinity, it will stop you from doing it. It is that simple. Now, once that is done, the door will open and you will head on through and you will enter what is the final phase to this quest. Now, in order to do it, you are probably going to need a fire team. It probably is soloable if you're good enough, but I recommend a fire team because the boss is, well, it's not difficult, it's just that you only get 20 seconds of damage at a time. So let me explain it to you. To destroy this boss, you are going to need to make sure you've got one of every energy type. So solar, void, arc, and kinetic. Make sure you've got kinetic as well, which you should do because everyone has a kinetic weapon. So what will happen is you will get a debuff or a buff on the left hand side of your screen, which will say void, solar, arc, or kinetic, whatever. Now, whatever this gives you, you need to go and pick up the orb from the middle of the room, and you need to come back and you need to slam it in the associated rune at the back of the room. Now, once you've done this, it will simply allow you to damage the boss for 20 seconds, and then it's basically from there a rinse and repeat process. I've not done it yet myself, I know how it works, but I'm waiting for a fire team to do it with. So, if any of you guys are interested, feel free to hit me up. Anyway, guys, that is pretty much it. Once you've destroyed that boss, you will get the Xenophage Exotic Machine Gun. Hope you've enjoyed watching, and as always, if you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, and comment below. I will catch you next time.